Hey, you guys are watching a Dead End Hip Hop album review. In this video, we will be discussing Rock Marciano's newest album, Mount Marci. Before we get into the review, if you like what you're watching, become a patron. You can do so at patreon.com/deadendhiphop. If you are not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and the little bell thing, and leave a comment below as well. For those of you that are frequent viewers of the show, your eyes are not tricking you. Feefo got fired. I'm the captain now. So my name is Kenneth B. Inge. For anybody that's new, we got Beezy 430 right here.
What up, though?
Myke C-Town over there.
You.
And Feefo's replacement, we got Rod.
What's up? I'm always here.
Man, I'll start with you first because I already know where he gonna be
all day.
All day?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be all day, baby.
Goddamn lie.
I'm not.
If you've been following Dead End Hip Hop for some time now, you know that I've been praising Rock for the longest. Ever since. Did you put me on to Rock? I can't remember.
Yes.
You did?
Yeah,
okay.
I did.
Ever since B put me on to Rock Marciano, man, it's just like he's been like literally one of my favorite rappers, like up there with Jay. Like I just really like his rhyme style. I really like the why you look like that?
Myke,
I thought I've said
shocked.
this before.
Never.
I've never said this
You've
before.
never said you put Rock Marciano
I may have
up there
heard
with
that
Jay.
in passing.
Kind of up there, yeah. I mean, Jay's still my favorite artist of all time. Of all time, but yeah, Rock. I really like. I don't know, man. It's just something about the way he puts words together that I really appreciate. Like old Rod wouldn't have said that. You know what I'm saying? The Rod that appreciates lyricism a lot more these days says that. It's just I just love the way this dude puts words together, man. And I can not relate, but I don't know. A lot of the stuff he says is very relatable. He seems like a hood guy just talking to like the youth or somebody that's whatever. So I really can connect with that. And he just does more of that on here, man. He does more on this. And I really, the thing I like about this, I really like the features that he picked on this. Like,
I was surprised by some of the
features.
Same.
Yeah, I was surprised too. I was wondering how they would sound because when I saw like Schoolboy and then
I think he kind of blended right in.
Yeah,
He did, but I wasn't expecting it.
I wasn't expecting that.
did.
The
But
feature
you know
list was
what?
weird.
But you know what though? Like when Schoolboy was rapping with him, I was like, you know what? I guess they kind of both do that off kilter kind of rap stop and go flow, and I was just like, this works really well.
Yeah.
It's just imagining Schoolboy on a beat without a lot of drums.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
kind of sounded weird. It sounded weird before I heard the song.
Mm-hmm.
I
The
get
song,
you.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But before I was like, Schoolboy with Rock, that's a weird choice.
It was
But it
until I
worked.
heard it.
Yes.
It worked because when you when you think about Schoolboy and how he raps, man,
Yeah.
it's just. Of course it works.
Of course it
This
works,
dude can float on just about anything. His flow is just so off kilter.
Yeah, and it kind of in my mind, like I wouldn't see the pairings because in my mind I kind of see them moving in different, circles. I know Rock is known within the industry. I'm like, damn. So
Well, Schoolboy bigged him up plenty of times, like on social media.
okay.
Like when Rosebud Revenge came out, he bigged him up big time.
Schoolboy seems like he's like tapped in.
No, he
Yeah.
is. He is. He says.
Well,
stuff
didn't even
about-
Jay say something about
Rock?
Didn't Jay say something about Rock Marciano?
I think so. I know they got pictures together.
Oh, okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of then.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
pictures together, so I'm sure he's probably said something at some point.
Rock,
I mean, the
I'm
dude
sure
is
Rock's
skilled.
name is moving through.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah,
industry a
of
lot.
course.
Hell yeah.
Of
And I think
course.
we've said
Yeah.
this like kind of off camera or maybe on a live, just like with this whole Griselda movement.
Yeah.
Like, Rock is almost like I hate to say it, but he is the father of that. That whole
yeah.
no drums, no.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think
Along
we said
with Kai.
Kai.
Yeah,
along with Kai.
Kai, yeah.
So yeah.
Well, he kind of alluded to it on this album. I think
He did?
He had a line that seemed to kind of hint at that. I can't remember what song it was, but it definitely stood out to me when I heard
I
it.
think it was on Wicked Days.
Oh, that shit.
Man,
I
so
love
that's
that
what I
shit.
was gonna talk about.
Wicked
How did
Days.
y'all feel about Wicked Days?
That's probably my favorite song.
Yeah,
That's
that
what-
shit's
Man,
great.
when I was listening to this, I was like, okay, how he gonna rhyme on this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, in the weird. I was like, who was that fucking Prince singing? Fucking When Doves Cry. That's what it sounds like. It sound like fucking Prince.
know
It sound
that
like
guy.
Prince when doves cry or some shit.
Yeah.
Trent
But-
Truce, have you heard of him before?
I never heard
No.
of him.
Either.
Never heard
I
of
even looked him up after this, and I couldn't really
Oh,
find
really?
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant to look him up too, but yeah.
'Cause I liked him.
Nah,
But yeah, but man, when Rock started flowing,
Oh my god.
I was like,
Yeah, he sounded
yeah, it was
great.
like one of those moments where you just be like,
Yeah.
this, what the fuck this motherfucker?
It
can
almost
do?
to me didn't fit on this album.
Oh,
And
I think it fit perfect.
Yep.
You did?
Yeah, this
so
album
that's
is
what I wanted to
super
ask too.
dark.
Why? Because go ahead.
This is to me, this is probably my favorite Rock Marciano project.
Okay.
I like Rock Marciano. I'm not like a humongous fan like you and B are.
Yeah.
He's one of those kind of guys where every time I put his album on, I'm like, damn, this shit is great. But I don't always think to go back to it.
I got you.
Um,
Dang, that's crazy because I do.
I'm sure you do. I can tell. But whenever an album of his comes out, I'm just like, okay, yeah, this is another fucking dope Rock Marciano project. This one sounds so different to me because it was almost like, I hate to always use this played out phrase, but it's almost like it was going like the experimental route. Like he was experimenting production wise with shit that he doesn't normally do.
And I don't know if it was on Trench Coat Wars or Garbage Pail Kids that gave me that like eerie sound.
Garbage
that
Pail
eerie
Kids.
feel.
Oh, I was gonna say it was
Yeah.
Dun,
But that's
yeah,
what
that shit,
that's
yeah.
all I mean. Like for me personally, I feel what y'all got. I feel what y'all are saying.
Yeah.
I feel like that came later on in the album. That sound that y'all talking about. I didn't feel that sound, that dark sound in the beginning.
Really?
I didn't for some reason. Maybe I need to go back and listen to it. But
Yeah, it might just not feel that way. to
but
you,
when that Wicked Days hit, it sounded very different from everything else I had heard up until that point. And Wicked
I feel
Days is
you.
where it's like
Track
Towards the
13.
end.
Yeah, it's towards
13.
the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 13.
I can see what you're saying. Yeah,
See what
because
I'm saying?
when I look at
Yeah.
some of these other tracks, they were a little bit more traditional. With maybe except a few
Broadway
here or
Billy.
there.
Like,
Yeah, that Cool Keith. When I saw that
Yeah.
feature, I was like, oh man, I gotta hear how Cool Keith.
I didn't see that feature until I listened to it. And I was like, who the fuck is this fake ass Cool Keith? And I was like,
That's hilarious.
the dude was totally trying to rhyme. Like, I'm like, who is this?
Yeah.
Who is this?
Man,
This
so
kind of
many-
cool, kind of cool, kind of cool Keith.
Fucking
Yeah.
Cool Keith, man.
Yeah, man, he's
Nah, he's nice on it.
yeah, he
I did
is.
not
He
know
was
I
nice
needed
on
a
it.
Cool Keith and Rock Marciano joint until I
Yeah.
heard that song, dude.
Yeah, that was dope. Yeah, Cool Keith is funny, man. Like, it's hard for me to follow him sometimes. Like, at first I was following and I lost it for a minute. I picked back up.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the brilliance of Cool Keith.
Yeah.
man. Always offbeat, but
Always-
never offbeat.
Yeah,
Never
yeah,
offbeat.
it's
He's
dope.
so dope.
Wait, which one the stove got on?
Man,
Eye of
freaking
the
the
World.
Eye of the
Um,
World.
Eye of the Worst.
Man,
Number 8.
Man.
That boy
Well,
hot
this
headed. He Ghost Rider.
Yes.
Man, dude. Stone got man.
Man,
He's-
hey,
yeah, he's
Stone
ill,
God
bro.
is like,
Bro.
I told Kid,
Bro.
man.
He got
Stone
next,
God
man.
is like
Bruh,
one of my
Stone
favorite
got
dudes
next.
this
You right,
year,
Ken.
man.
That dude
He got
got
next.
next.
That dude is so cold. That
He
dude is so
super
cold.
cold.
I've been
And I
playing
know-
Reasonable Drought like crazy.
I
dude.
played Reasonable Drought and the features that he was on
West Side Gun
oh
shit.
my god.
Yes, man.
Oh, my
man.
God.
That shit.
But when
This dude.
I don't know why I chuckled. I know why I chuckled because I could be mature. But when Rock said I've been doing the stanky leg in that pussy,
Oh, man.
Oh, the Schoolboy
Man.
Q joint doing the push. As serious as Rock can be and how he can put words together, he gonna throw some comedy in there, man. You just
And
gotta,
like when he
you
said,
gotta listen.
Yeah, when he said my girl got a body, I ain't talking about the
I
butt.
ain't talking about
Oh,
bruh.
Man,
God.
that shit,
Oh man.
that shit was cold
Yeah.
too.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah, cause you like I teach her how to shoot and oh
Mhm.
man, yeah.
I thought that was Downtown 81 where he said that line about stanky
Stanky
leg
leg,
in
no,
the
it was the
pussy.
Schoolboy
It was
Q
the
joint.
Schoolboy one?
Oh yeah. It was like
Speaking
his
of
last part.
downtown though, I like the angle he took with a tribute to Kobe.
To Kobe,
Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
81.
I ain't even think about it. I was like, damn. Like
The whole Kobe
oh wow,
story.
you just yeah.
Yeah, the
Because
homie-
I
Yep.
did have a question about that.
Man, yes. Yeah.
But I didn't even
Gave
think
the
about
homie
it
Jalen
that
Jalen
81.
81. Yeah.
He hit scored
I
81.
feel so bad for because
That's crazy. You didn't know. You didn't catch that.
I didn't look at it as a tribute. I looked at it as like my head went to like social media because Jalen talk about this shit every year. Every
Yeah.
year he be blocking motherfuckers because of that shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, this is just something else that's gonna add to him just getting annoyed every goddamn year.
Why don't he just lean into it and just be
He's-
like, man, it happened, bro. He got
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, he got you.
But pimps don't wear rabbits.
That shit was
Oh,
ill, bro.
Man. Just the
That shit
interlude,
was
the way it
ill,
started that
bro.
shit off.
Be careful now.
Yeah.
Be careful now.
Man,
See,
Real
even
pimps don't.
even that beat, like that didn't sound like a typical Rock Marciano
No, it
beat at all.
didn't. It
No,
really didn't.
it didn't sound like something that I would expect Rock Marciano to do.
Yeah.
I expected the very minimal drums thing and like the kind of soul-ish samples. But even a song like COVID Cough, where it was just like
No, that was
that
different.
weird twisted, but that was at the second, third track.
Yeah, that's the third
Yeah,
track.
but weird guitars. But there was like two different guitars being sampled, but each of the guitars were playing different. But the one was like faster. It was weird.
And then the drum pattern was so weird.
Yeah,
like
super
the drum
weird.
pattern was so weird, dog.
But
That
it
shit
wasn't
crazy.
Wicked Days though.
No.
Was just
What I'm
different.
saying is the same as Wicked Days. I'm saying like, I feel like the majority of this album was Rock Marciano giving people something a little bit different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Especially when you compare it to his last record.
Right.
His last record
No,
was
yeah,
almost there as far as like, oh, there's drums.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm a little more,
Yeah.
This one was like, nah, y'all bobbing your head a little too much on that
Right,
shit.
right.
Let me give you this super weird shit.
And let me give you this
And I think
complex
that's fucking
rhyme scheme.
dope,
Let me
man.
give you
It
this
is dope.
complex rhyme schemes and shit, man. On Still
Yeah.
Vagina.
He really
Now,
stepped
Still
it up.
Vagina is like one of my standout tracks.
Fuck,
Oh
man.
my god.
Because at first he was starting off singing and melody and shit.
Yeah.
You know, and then you hear the
And
piano
then he caught
going.
that pocket
And
towards
then
the
next thing you
end.
know, he just.
Man,
I was
like I like
this
that line he
motherfucker,
had,
man.
like you said, the whole thought I fell off. He's like, I just bought a unicorn. That's a horse with a horn.
That's a horse with a horn.
What? Oh my god, man!
Yeah,
I
man.
love the way he puts his words together.
I love it
dude.
too, man. I
It's
love
just
it
crazy.
every time. I just be sitting there smiling like this
Yeah.
motherfucker did it again. Like
Yeah,
every time.
and he
man.
said something like, he's like, I forgot what song it was, but he's like, as long as I got breath in my, like as long as I got air in my nostrils, like people normally say, like, as long as I got air in my lungs.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I love how
How
he.
he
That's what I
put-
like about
Yeah.
Doom. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I love like Doom just finds different ways to say shit.
Yeah.
And Rock does that. He
Yeah.
looks for
Does.
any moment. I know I say this every time, and I'm gonna keep
No,
saying it until niggas
it's-
start realizing.
Yeah.
Like he find different ways to say shit,
What he
and
said,
I love that.
On the last time, we said turn your shirt from white to magenta.
To magenta.
You know
Nobody
what I'm
says
saying?
that. Like what the fuck? Like you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Shit
So
crazy.
that's what
I
I
like
love
that
about
shit too, but I like some of his more simplistic but hard lines too. Like when he said, you're not cut like me. You need more seasoning and a few key ingredients.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a
Right,
crazy
right,
over your
right.
head bar, but it's just
it's-
Right. Right.
it's such a dope line.
so sharp.
Like,
It felt like he kind of recognized that. He kind of played off of that when he said, like something about niggas out here acting like pussies. That's the only way I know how to say it or put it or something like that. I can't remember what song it was.
Yeah.
But it was just like very to the point. Matter of fact, it was like I'm not gonna even look for a clever way to
Right.
say
Right.
this shit.
I'm just
don't
gonna
have to.
say
It's
this.
just
to
y'all
you.
don't
just
have to.
is what it is.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
I
so
love
thought
that about
that
him.
was dope. Like the seemingly awareness of people acknowledging the way that he used words, and then for him to pull back and not even do that. That was kind of dope.
Good balance, man.
yeah, he did that a few times on here.
good balance.
You know, like COVID Cough is probably one of my favorite tracks on here. But he had some really cold lines. He said with the pen, I'm like Hemingway, I'm a heavyweight, I'm better than you niggas in every way. Again, it's not a crazy, super detailed, over your head bar, but it's the way he says it
Puts
and he
it together.
delivers it so fucking
Yes.
cold.
The timing.
But then Schoolboy came in with
How you don't love me like the
Like the
wind
wind
do?
do. Yeah.
man. Oh my god. He said I pull the drum out the backpack and boom bap that.
Yeah.
God, I
Yep.
usually just used to scratch my back.
Yep.
Yeah. And then he says, yeah, and then he's like, I boom back that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he goes into a different.
He's so dope. He's so dope,
I
man.
know,
God,
How you
damn.
gotta just imagine this dude in the booth doing that.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. I
like,
know.
what makes you
That's
just,
what I'm picturing. That's
you,
what I'm.
it just seems like you're in your zone, right?
Yeah.
He sounds like it.
It sounds like you're in your zone. You just
Yeah.
like you like I'm about to rap this shit and I'm gonna say whatever ad-libs during this shit.
I think he knew, man. Going on this track with Rock Marciano, Schoolboy knew to bring his A game on this
I think
shit,
Schoolboy
man.
does that.
Regardless.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying, but like,
Like
with this
he is
one,
the feature killer.
Yeah,
Yes.
he
feature
is.
killer.
He is.
Anytime you see Schoolboy's name on a feature, you know he's gonna
You know he
fucking
gonna bring it.
spaz, and he always does. But that track was a fucking huge standout. What'd y'all think of Spirit Cooking with Action Bronson?
I was gonna say nobody talk about Action Bronson.
I mean, he was cool. But he just sounded like Action Bronson.
Bronson, yeah.
But he did have some nice bars. I just don't remember him.
This is the second time, that I've heard him. I don't know if he's done.
No, I'm sorry.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead.
No,
No,
finish what you're
go ahead.
saying. No, he said, he said, for any man that want to test me, you lose a testy, and I'll wear it as an earring while I jet ski.
Oh yeah,
That was
I remember
good.
that.
That
I
was
fucking cracked up. I was like, damn, that was nice.
That was an Action Bronson bar, definitely.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. But he was on something else where he was just okay. And then I was like, okay, well, damn, is he about to work on an album? Because he's kind of been MIA for a while. I know he was doing the TV show, but he just popped up on two, the Willie the Kid. He was on
Yeah, he
Capital
was on
Games.
Willie the
He was on
Kid, yeah.
Capital
I
Games.
think Bronson did release the album.
This year?
Yeah, I believe he did. What's that shit said? Rock said on Wicked Days when he said, "I'm so nice on the mic, it's working against me."
Yeah.
No, like
He said there's gunpowder on my album
Oh,
cover.
man. Oh, what the fuck, man? Shout out to Jake One and Chuck Strangers too.
I was gonna ask you.
who?
Yeah, who did the beats on here?
Oh,
Because what came to my while I was gonna
Yeah,
ask you was Baby Powder.
yeah. Jake Rock Marciano did everything on here with the exception of Downtown 81, which is produced by Jake One, and he did the second half of Baby Powder. The first half of the song is produced by Chuck Strangers. The second half, when the beat switch up, that's Rock Marciano.
Chuck Strangers?
Yeah, Chuck Strangers did the first part of Baby Powder.
Dang,
And
man.
everything else is Rock Marciano.
Is Chuck still active like that? I haven't heard that name in a minute. I know he's done.
I think he
a song here or
he
there.
released an EP or album early sometime this year. I believe he did. I don't know if it's an EP or album. I'm pretty sure people will correct me, but yeah, he released something this year. Chuck Strangers did. Yeah, and I like the closer track. The fact that Rock Marci got
man,
personal
Mount
too.
Marcy, yeah, that was.
Yeah, the
I love
daughter
that
track.
sample on that shit.
Yeah,
Oh my
that
God.
shit was fucking luscious and beautiful like
goodness.
a motherfucker, man. Production wise, like I completely agree with Myke. On the production wise, man, Rock, and we was already praising him on Reasonable Drought, like yo, this some of the best beats that Rock made.
Yeah.
And on his shit, it's like yo, these are the most experimental, but at the same time soulful shit that this man has made. Up to he's 9-10 albums in, and you still fucking doing this shit, dude. Like that's why I've said this plenty of times. We got to start discussing this dude when you talk about discographies now. Like
Yeah.
this guy has been
He's super
consistent,
consistent.
man.
so consistent, dude. The way that this man sequenced this album, the way this album is just laid out, it's almost like, dude, this guy has a chink in his armor as far as his music. It's just he never misses. Yeah.
Favorite tracks. I mean, this is hard for me, but I could do 5. Let me.
I mean, you get your FIFA on,
I ain't
brother.
gonna get my FIFA on. I always get on him. I always get out. Get on
Edit
him
yourself
about it.
out.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to count with my fingers. I'm gonna start with one of my favorites, Still Vagina, Mount Marcy, Baby Powder. Give me COVID Cough, because that was just a great collab. Oh, Wicked Days, because it was just so different and so dope.
I gotta count 2. Shit. Let me get Eye of the Walrus, Mount Marcy, COVID Cough, Pimps Don't Wear Rabbits, and Still Vagina.
All right, my favorite tracks is the one with Schoolboy. Is that the
COVID Cough.
I mean, Stove God.
No,
So
that's
the Eye of
that's
the
the
Roars.
other S.
Yeah, the Eye of the Roars.
All right.
yeah.
So yeah. So give me that one. 2, give me COVID Cough. 3, Broadway Billy. 4, Wicked Days. And probably my favorite track on here is Pimps Don't Wear Rabbits.
You be careful now. I love the way he said that shit.
Favorite tracks. I'm gonna say Downtown 81, COVID Cough, Butterfly Effect, which we didn't really talk about.
Ooh,
But that one
the
had
Biggie,
that,
the Biggie
the
old.
one with the fucking the
Na, na,
simple
na,
piano sample and those
na,
horns.
Oh shit.
That shit was beautiful.
What you say?
Man, he
Get
killed that
money.
shit.
It is. That's what I'm saying. But
That's
that was
what?
towards. He said that's creepy, but that was towards the.
No, it
end,
wasn't.
right?
No,
in
it
the
wasn't.
middle.
That was like right in the middle.
Yeah, Butterfly Effect. Yeah.
Yeah, but what, y'all seen the movie though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's why it was kind of
Yeah.
like, man,
Yeah, I know.
I lost my train of thought. That was 3, right?
Yeah.
Broadway Billy and Wicked Days.
Rock Marciano, if you're watching, another great project to the discography. The more everyone talks about it, I do see how the beats are a little bit experimental. I still hear the Pipalicious influence in the beats, but added with some of that experimental sound, so that was dope. And I just appreciate it, man. I say this all the time. I just appreciate the way you put words together. I appreciate how you try to find ways to say things differently. I think another one was like, you said, I only aim for the collar, like instead of saying I only take headshots. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you just find different ways to say shit typical people say, and I just pick up on that and I notice it, and it's appreciated. So again, man, appreciate your artistry, appreciate your grind and your consistency. Thank you.
Right, Marciano, if you're watching, man, thank you for this another amazing project. I don't know what to say at this point. This is almost like I expect these great things from you every time you release an album, man. I don't. Every time when I'm thinking you're about to kind of be in the safe space, production wise, you always prove me wrong, and then you do some other shit where I'd be like, what the fuck? And how the fuck you can rhyme over this shit so effortless is just like amazing to me, man. Like, keep up this great work. Like you were always like up there as one of my favorite MCs, and you always been that for this past decade. I mean, obviously I had you about 5 of your albums from the last decade, so you starting off this decade right with this album, man. So good job.
Rock Marciano, if you're watching, yeah, man, great project. When it started out and I heard what sounded like some Isaac Hayes shit, I was like, man, we about to be in for some pimp shit. And you went in a different direction. It almost like you set me up, to go right and you went left. And I think that that's dope because once I really locked into what you were doing sound-wise, I really appreciate it. And again, I like the fact that you show like a diversity, like Rod mentioned earlier, your artistry, and you're able to kind of do stuff in similar lanes, but find a way to switch it up to keep me as a listener interested, because you got the blaxploitation shit, and then you can do some shit like this, and then pull in features and work seamlessly with those features and kind of pull them into your world too. And I think that that's really dope. So I think this is another stellar addition to your discography. And yeah, I appreciate it. Great work.
Rock Marciano, I always enjoy your albums. This is my favorite project of yours. I think taking it in this slightly experimental route, but still keeping it on some pimp shit with the lyrics and with your style, but still even tweaking your style a bit. I think it's really dope. I think it's really dope, man. So there's not a lot I can say here except for I think this would be in my top 10. And I think this is probably the first time I've put a Rock Marciano project in my top 10. But this one's undeniable, man. I like that you made a little sidestep and made it different, but you didn't make it, you made it subtly different. You didn't make it so different where it's like, damn, this don't sound like no Rock Marciano. This still sounds like Rock Marciano, but it sounds like Rock Marciano in like the Twilight Zone. Like this sounds like Rock Marciano, but like on like Outer Limits. Cause like the vibe you gave me with this is like a dark, creepy, kind of eerie vibe, but then you're that dude in the background that's like in the corner, in the dark corner, that's just rapping this weird pimp shit to you. It's just such a weird feeling, but I love this album, man. So great job. And B made a great point, man. You're starting off this decade in a really dope way, man.
Some horror pimp shit.
Yeah.
Horror pimp.
Horror pimp.
Right.